opportunity, Supplier Management, MBW7, and today we are going to deal with audits, okay, or process audits for suppliers. Okay, just imagine you are a process owner. Wait. You are in a supply chain management department of a big corporation. And you are taking care of some supplier, okay? And you are asked by your company to visit the process of your supplier and check if the current state of the process is equal to what has been agreed upon. So it's equal to the standard. Okay. So this standard is the ACT part on the CPDNA. This ACT is the A of the CPDNA. So you're going to be checking if the current state of the supplier, of the factory, of the process that the supplier is taking care of, equals the current state being observed. You can perform many types of many types of supplier audit. In German Auditierung, okay. Imagine this process, this factory is like an orange, like a sphere, okay, and you are going to, you could observe this orange from many perspectives. So basically you could look at it from a quality perspective, okay, quality, and then you would look at things like KPIs like parts per million, or scrap rate, or you could look at it from an economic perspective, and you would get a different picture. And you could look at the euros per unit, and you could look at cash flow, or you could look at it from a process perspective. This is like what we did the other day with the value stream, the KPIs here. Could be like lead time, or cleanliness, or I don't know. You could look at it you could look at EPI. Okay, so basically by looking at different aspects of the process, we would get certain explanation of process variability, meaning departure from delta equal standard minus current state. In German, Soll minus Ist. Okay. So we try to explain process variability by looking at a certain perspective of the process. Okay, just think of the process like a way to visualize it like an orange, like a three-dimensional, and you can look at it from different perspectives, and then you get different views, different colors. This is what this image is about. Okay, you get different colors of the same orange. And if you perform a quality or an economic or a process audit, and you compare the results, you will get different views. So you cannot say that one view is just perfectly or describes the whole reality. You need to combine them so that you get the full picture of the process. Okay? Does it make sense? Questions? So one example of an audit is the process audit based on order and cleanliness. Okay. Basically, what you do is you have your audit document. Which is made of 4 different parts. Okay. The first part is cover page. The second part is some hints or instructions. Okay. The third part is just a bunch of questions, okay, which is actually the audit itself. Different aspects regarding order and cleanliness of processes. Okay, questions. What you ask. And you need to be giving points or giving a certain set of evaluation to these questions. We will see in a minute how we do it. And the last part is the visualization, in which you visualize the results. Usually in a graphic form. Okay, so that you plug this into your CPD and A. As I said, this audit is part of the logic of continuous improvement, usually. Okay, so you have the first element, the cover. Second element, the hint, some instructions. Third element, the questions itself, the audit itself. Fourth element, the visualization, and if you wish, the fifth element, the integration into the continuous improvement efforts. Okay. Any questions? Questions, please. Good. I'm going to give you some feedback before. Now, in the rest of the lecture is to go through this roadmap. Okay. So this is our roadmap, and the first thing we do is we look at the cover. Okay, how does the cover look like? And you can imagine this to be a sort of a Word document or something like this, with every stage is one page. Okay, so the cover has certain information on it. First is the company, okay. Then the date, the department, the beginning, then the machine or workplace, the end, who does the audit, with both name and signature, at least, as you will see later on, we need two, okay, and some comments that can be of any nature. Okay, it can be, you can comment whatever is going on at the moment of starting the audit. describing the situation of the process or to be audited. So this is the first page of the audit. The second, I think this needs no explanation. So the second page of the audit are the instructions or hints. Okay, the first one is the who does the audit. Okay, so at least an audit must be performed by at least 2 auditors. One of the auditors must be from outside of the process, which means that if you audit the production, then you need to take somebody from logistics to audit the process. Okay, the auditors shall be accompanied by a process owner, so that the audit team is at least 2 auditors plus 1 process owner. Okay. And at least 1 is external to the process. Does this make sense? Point 1.2, the audit team should have both knowledge of the process as well as methodological knowledge of the of the method, okay, method as well as methodological knowledge. I guess that's enough. So the audit team must know about the method of that is being used. In this case, we are auditing for order and cleanliness. Okay. The second 2.2 is when to perform the audit. When to perform the audit. And for this, we can say that the audit should be performed while the process is running. The second hint is that the audit takes place without previous notice. In German, unangekündigt. Questions? Any questions so far? Okay. Wie bitte? Es wird regelmäßig gemacht, dass dadurch, dass wir halt, das wollte ich noch mal nachher sagen, dadurch, dass wir das integrieren in dem CPDNA und das CPDNA passiert halt regelmäßig, okay? Es passiert einmal pro Woche oder einmal im Monat oder wie auch immer, wird das Audit halt auch regelmäßig integriert. Okay, also es wird regelmäßig durchgeführt. Es gab auch noch eine Frage. Ein externer Mitarbeiter, extern aus der Sicht von der Abteilung. Wie gesagt, wenn du ein Audit in der Produktion durchführst, dann holst du dir einen externen Mitarbeiter, extern vom Unternehmen kann es auch sein. Du kannst auch einen Berater nehmen zum Auditieren, aber oder ein Experte, eine unabhängige Institution wie TÜV oder ISO 9000, whatever, ist wichtig, dass es nicht jemand ist von der eigenen Abteilung, der nicht hierarchisch abhängig ist von dem Chef vom Prozess. Okay. Ja, das geht auch. Externe Unternehmen sind halt öfters gerufen, wenn es darum geht, eine Zertifizierung zu bekommen. In der Regel, um die Ordnung und Sauberkeit von einem Bereich zu auditieren, ist es halt zu teuer, sich jemanden von extern zu holen. Wenn es darum geht, eine Zertifizierung zu bekommen, dann ja, dann holt man sich halt in der Regel externe Auditoren. Okay, es kommt darauf an. Wir machen jetzt das einfachste Beispiel und das ist die Form von einem eine Checkliste mehr oder weniger. Okay. Gut. Okay. Dann some 2.3, some important aspects for the audit team members. Two point 3.1. Audit. Ein Audit means training. We perform the audit to ensure continuity of the continuous improvement process to offer help to see the unseen. So basically, when an audit is performed, when a good auditor is performing the audit, he or she helps the process owner see what previously was not being seen, because you are within your process, and that's why you are not seeing what is in front of your eyes. So the auditor helps you see what you are blind for. If you've been working for a long time in one place, then you start not seeing what is obvious, and the auditor helps you because he or she gives you an external view. That's why it's important that we bring external people. The second hint for the audit team is that we audit processes, not people. Okay, so we are not auditing people, we are auditing processes or machines that are taking care of our value creation process. We don't audit the people. Third aspect is that everyone involved is informed about the questions to be asked and how they are going to be evaluated. So, ich gehe jetzt so langsam, ich versuche alles aufzuschreiben, auch wenn es ein bisschen müßiger ist, damit die Leute, die halt kein Englisch oder nicht so gut Englisch können, halt etwas besser folgen können. Es tut mir leid, weil manche haben gesagt, dass es so langsam geht. Tut mir leid, okay, aber ich muss jeden mitnehmen, versuchen jeden mitzunehmen. 2.3.4 the audit takes place with everyone present. So if somebody is missing, that's why you need the people to sign off the cover sheet. If somebody is missing, then you cannot perform the audit. And in the audit, in the order and cleanliness audit, we look behind the carpet or below the carpet. Beneath the carpet, hinter die Kulissen, okay? This means we open closets, look for stuff hidden, and so on and so forth. So we're looking for stuff that is not in order or that is not clean. So we need to look at the things that are hidden beneath the carpet. Okay, so in a way to talk. Also, we are trying to make a Bewertung, how do you say it in English? We are trying to evaluate. This evaluation, the evaluation must be objective, okay, and should be explained, and the audit documents must be signed off and filled right away without timely delay. Okay, so you need to sign off and put all the information that is needed right away. You don't wait until later, because if you wait, then you lose track of what you're looking for. Okay, so this would be the hints or the stuff that you need to be taking care of if you are an auditor or a part of an audit. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, we make a little break and then we continue in 10 minutes. Questions. Our questions part has 5 areas. They're called 5S, okay, so that it is easy to remember. The first S is called in Japanese seiri, or sort. In German aussortieren, okay. Seiri is sorting through all items in a location and removing all unnecessary items from the location. Okay. The second S is Seiton, or set in order. After removing everything that is unnecessary, we put all necessary items in the optimal place for fulfilling their function in the workplace. So, zack. Ja, die Fragen kommen später. Ja. Erstmal gebe ich euch den Überblick. Die Fragen kommen gleich. Ja. The third S is say so, or cleaning, sweeping, cleaning. Here we clean and inspect the workplace, tools, and machinery regularly. Okay, and here we start to see that we do the things not only one time, we do them many times. Number 4 is called 4S, is called seiketsu. Okay, seiketsu, or standardize. We standardize the process used to sort, order, and clean. Okay, so the first, second, and third S, the workplace. And number 5, the last one, is sustain, or shitsuke. Is the process of self-discipline of the workers to keep the standard. Basically, usually you will see in the books something like this. When talking about continuous improvement or Kaizen, you will see something like this: a ball that needs to be improved. It's taken to a new level, and you set something like a piece of wood here so that it doesn't fall, and this is the new standard. Okay. This picture is used to explain the continuous improvement process, but I'm afraid to tell you that this picture is fundamentally wrong. Okay, what really happens is that you have here your process, you want to improve it, and you're pushing really hard to get it up, and just to keep it up, just to keep it up in the second position costs you energy. If you go and try to do something different, which is basically the idea here, that you just put one piece of wood and then you can go do your business. If you go and stop putting energy on step number 5, then you lose track of your, and then you go down again, and then you need to start from the beginning. Okay, so Shitsuke, it means to stay there and just keep the standard, sustain the standard that has been already achieved. Okay, and this is as important as anything else. Okay, any questions? Ja, der Prozesseigner ist für verantwortlich. Also immer bleibt der Prozesseigner für verantwortlich in dem ganzen Prozess. Okay, wird nicht, das, was wir vom Außen machen, ist lediglich nur der Ist-Aufnahme, nur den Audit. Okay. So, es werden jetzt Fragen gestellt. Das heißt, die Auditoren, die 2 Auditoren kommen vorbei und stellen Fragen. Jede Frage wird bewertet mit 10 Punkte. Okay, eine Frage sind 10 Punkte, die zu vergeben sind. Und es ist eine Skala, die natürlich jeder Auditor wählen muss. 0 Punkte oder 10 Punkte. 0 Punkte heißt nicht erreicht. Und 10 Punkte ist komplett erreicht. Okay? Okay? Eine ganz einfache Logik, die wir dann nachher zusammenfassen mit Prozente. Okay? Wir erreichen so und so viele Punkte von so und so viele mögliche und dann haben wir einen Prozentsatz. So, welche Fragen werden gestellt beim 1S? Ich wiederhole, 1S ist Seri or sort, sorting through all items in a location and removing all unnecessary items from the location. So I change to English again. The 1.1 question is, do we have unnecessary items in the workplace? Okay. 0 is not achieved. So meaning that we have a lot of unnecessary items in the workplace. Completely achieved, meaning that we don't have any unnecessary items. Okay, so if we have a lot of unnecessary items, we would give 0 points. If we have no unnecessary items at all, then we would give 10 points. 1.2 is do we have not used machine or not use or defect machines, utensils, tools in the workplace. Again, if we have a lot of not used defect machines, utensils, tools in the workplace, then we would have a 0, and if we have none of them, we would have 10 points. Do we have unnecessary materials or transport or storage items in the workplace? Number 4, 1-4. Do we have unnecessary jigs in the workplace? A jig is eine Einrichtung, okay? 1.5. Do we have unnecessary or old, outdated, not old, outdated information in the workplace? Out of these 5 questions, we have a maximum of 50 points to be achieved in the first S. Okay. Any questions? So we go to the workplace, to the machine, imagine, or to the office, and then we go and ask these questions. With a lot of respect, of course, because you're visiting the workplace of somebody else. So you need to be very careful not to give the impression that you are trying to measure their performance. You're measuring just a workplace, okay? And this is important. So the second S, 2S. .1. Second S was about Satan set in order, put all necessary items in the optimal place for fulfilling their function in the workplace. So what do we ask then? Are all tools, Arbeitsmittel, are all places in the workplace correctly marked and visualized. Can we know where, when something is missing or in the incorrect position? This is something that you usually see. In German, you call this Schattenbrett logic. Okay, you see that when you go to the Schreiner or Automechaniker, they have everything. All the tools are visualized on the wall. They're hanging with a shadow board, and that is then easy to know what is missing. Are always visualized? At the workplace. For instance, storage and how are inventory and logistics processes and WIP points visualized. So we visualize where we're missing a guitar box, for instance. Okay. 2.3 are all machines tools, anything you need for the production correctly visualized. Basically, what we are looking for is for a machine that talks by itself. Okay. So we want to visualize so well the machine that the pressure, the oil, and whatever measure that is important is talking to me visually. Okay. This is called visual management. This is the things what we're looking for. Okay, so maybe if you look at it into detail, we make zoom there, and this is our oil stand. This is a maximum and this is a minimum. Okay, and then we have an area where things are green, and if we go out of this area, then things are not green, they're red. Okay, so this is what we're looking for, that the machine talks to us in a way that we can understand. Visual visual management. Does it make sense? Okay. So do we visualize our work in progress? Let me take it out. Are this question visualize? Do we visualize our work in progress? This is an important issue because as we have seen throughout our study, the work in progress is a very important aspect, taking or giving hints about lead time, giving hints about quality, and so on and so forth. So to visualize the work in progress is very important. So with 2S, with the second S, you get maximum of 40 points. Is that cool? Any questions? Okay, we make another break. Send you an invitation in. So we continue with our third S. Our question 3.1 are all machines tools, jigs, and so on clean and free of dirt. Three point two is the workplace and its surroundings free of dirt. Are the not here, not jigs. Are the jigs free of dirt? 3.4. Do we have a plan to clean regularly? 3.5. This is usually called a checklist. And are all how do you say Reinigungsmittel, cleaning tools necessary to perform the checklist available? Here we also get a maximum of 50 points. For S, do we find everything in the indicated and visualized positions? Do we have standard operating procedures? This is called usually SOP. And are they consistently followed? So a standard operating procedure is something that explains how to do the work, okay, how to do the job, like instructions to perform a certain activity. In German, this is called Arbeitsanweisung. Hmm. 4.3, do we have a cleaning plan, inspection plan, and are they visualized and consistently implemented? Whenever I say consistently, what I mean is in German nachweislich, okay? It's not only necessary that you do it, but you need to be able to consistently give proof of it. Ja? Zum Beispiel, ja, oder die Führung verlangt es. Und die Führungskraft kann nicht immer an der Maschine sitzen. Er besucht die Maschine vielleicht einmal am Tag und er möchte, dass diese Maschine halt grundsätzlich gereinigt wird. Der einzige Weg, dies zu tun oder dies nachzuweisen, ist, wenn es nachweislich hinterlegt ist, dass diese Reinigungspläne doch durchgeführt wurden. Mit einer Unterschrift, wenn du jetzt in eine Kneipe aufs Klo gehst, dann gibt es eine Checkliste, wo die Putzfrau halt unterschrieben hat. Verstehst du? Das macht das dann nachweislich. Do we have checklists describing the maintenance taking place at machines, tools, jigs, bam, bam, bam. This is what usually it's called a TÜV Siegel. Something like that. This has to do with the question from, I think it was Roman, regarding some gesetzliche Vorschriften. Okay, so you need to have this siegel, otherwise you cannot operate with electrical devices or stuff like that. Number 5, do we have standards, formulare for information? Are they up to date? So ein schwarzen Brett, wo Information hängt, sind diese Informationen standardisiert dargestellt und sind sie auch aktuell, so dass der Mitarbeiter, Mitarbeiterin die aktuellen Stellenausschreibungen mitbekommt und dergleichen, okay? Bam, bam. So, hier haben wir a maximum of 50 points. Again. And then we continue with the last, the 5th S, Shitsuke. Okay. So there are only, as I said before, also wir haben jetzt lediglich 5 Leute online. Von 28 Angemeldete sind es 5 Leute online. Nachher, wenn ich sage, ich mache eine Probeklausur, sind es auf einmal 25. Und das wird diesmal nicht passieren. Okay? Also ich finde es extrem suboptimal, um die Lerninhalte zu vermitteln, dass die Leute einfach nicht teilnehmen und sich einfach den PDF schicken lassen oder also ich weiß nicht. So, do we perform 4S consistently? So the 5S is this sustainability. Do we perform 4S so that as platform for further improvement? Are all process owners aware of the 5S process? Are they empowered? So, wurden alle Mitarbeiter geschult in dem Thema? Fragezeichen. 5.4. Do we perform 5S audits regularly? This is a question from before, okay? And do we integrate CPDNA, do we integrate 5S audits into the CPDNA cycle, continuous improvement cycle? Again, here 50 points. A maximum of 50 points. And then we get into the last of our as we saw before. Now we go into the visualization. Okay, number 4. Number 4 in rosa, visualization. And for that, we're going to use a so-called radar diagram. Okay. So now imagine we have our first S, second S, third S, 4S, 5S. And for each one, we get a certain number of points. Okay, we have given a certain number of points. So we have a maximum of, as we said, I think it's 50, 40, 50, 50, and 50. And then we have a current state of, I don't know, 40, 20, 25, 10, and 5. So these are the results of the questions, okay? Meaning we have here 80%, 50%, 50%, 20%, 10%, okay? And how do we do the diagram? It's quite easy. Because we have 5 questions, we have 5 axes, like a star, okay? And then here in the middle, we have our 0. We have 100%, first S, second S, third S, 4S, and 5s. Okay, so and we get for our first S we have 80%. For our second S we have 20%. We have 50%. Sorry. Then we have 50%. Then we have 20%, and then we have only 10%. So our radar diagram, our whole area goes like this. We fulfilled as much area as that. We can shade it if we want. Okay, and the maximum area that we could achieve is 100% in everything. So all the area remaining from this, all the area that remaining that can be, I don't know, shaded in gray, all the area remaining is what is missing until the 100% is what we can get better. Okay, so we repeat this. Number 5, we repeat this on CPDNA logic. You already know that. Make sure you look at your notes because this is relevant. And then we try to get better. Continuous. No. Continuously improve the 5S standard. So try to get all the area to fulfill the green, the gray area. Okay. So any questions as of how to perform a 5S audit? Habt ihr Fragen? No questions. Okay. Then, as usual, wenn die Frage nicht beantwortet kann, was meinst du mit nicht beantworten kann? Gib mir ein Beispiel. Moment. So, was meinst du? Die zum Beispiel? Ja, dann ist 0. Dann hast du keine Punkte. 0. Ja. Genau. Darum geht's. Weißt du, du willst halt gucken, wie gut du bist. Ja, es ist nicht ein Ja, Nein. Es gibt auch 5 Punkte. Es gibt auch Grau. Weißt du? Aber das ist dann der Auditor, der entscheidet. Es muss nur immer das gleiche Kriterium benutzt werden. Okay? Gibt es noch Fragen? Okay. So, ich lade die Information hoch auf YouTube und